Oh boy. Where, oh, where to begin? How hard do I go in on Survivor Series 2001? How much do I blast this steaming shitfest of a show? How much do I blast the whole alliance storyline? How much do I blast the entire invasion angle? How much do I blast the people that ever in any way, shape, or form intimate to me and or attempt to justify the greatness of the most ridiculous storyline in the history of the WWF/E in the invasion angle? Survivor Series 2001 is stupid. Survivor Series 2001 is a big steaming piece of shit to me. It always has been, and it always will be. Part of the reason is because after so many years of wondering as a fan what would happen, after so many years of potentially fantasizing as a wrestling fan about what could happen if this guy faced this guy, what if these two companies went head to head, what the hell would happen? In 2001, we finally have that opportunity, and the invasion angle is what the fuck we got. It was terrible then, and by God, it's even worse now. It really aggravates me and frustrates me when I see people, younger fans than me mostly, try to defend this shit. This was dumb. This was stupid on so many different levels. And you know who else agrees with me? The fucking WWF. They thought it was dumb enough. They thought it was stupid enough. They thought it was pointless enough. They thought it was too much of a waste of time. They thought it was the abortion that it was. And it shows because they didn't even carry out the storyline to WrestleMania 18. They hated this so much. And they hated so much of what they had done with it. Because they knew the big steaming pile of crap it was. And they knew how many millions of wrestling fans that it pissed off and drove away completely from the fucking business. That they wrapped it up only a few months after it even had started. Those are just so bad. It's just so stupid. And there just is no justification. There just is no defense. There is no trying to rationalize how this was good. People, the invasion angle was shit. And just about everything involved with the invasion angle was shit. Okay, occasionally you got the big shocking moment. You got the big return. But it all culminated in garbage and shit. I mean, this is supposed to be something years in the fucking making. Who's gonna win? WWF or WCW? And you got your answer. And this was the steaming pile of shit that you fucking got. There are times where match quality means absolutely nothing. And if that is, I emphasize again, the only thing that you watch professional wrestling for, I challenge you to expand your fucking horizons. Because there are some times where it doesn't mean a fucking thing. Zilch, Zippo, not a goddamn thing. So I don't give a fuck if you like some of the matches on this card. I don't. Oh, steel cage tag title match between the Dudleys and the fucking Hardys. Who gives a shit? The Dudleys from ECW are WCW tag team champions. Fucking stupid is that? How stupid is that? Edge is the WCW United States Champion. And he unifies that belt with the IC title by beating Test. The fuck is going on here? The WWF had one chance to get this shit right. They had one chance to sit there and say, hey, you know what? We're going to fucking do this. And we're going to take this seriously. And we're going to try and make this the license to print money that it should fucking be. And instead, it was nothing more than a pathetic attempt by Vince McMahon to sit there and flex his ultimate muscle and wrestling sports entertainment superiority. And he McMahon the fuck up out of this. This is terrible. I mean, like, even when they had the Immunity Battle Royal, of all the people they could have win it, they didn't even have a WCW guy win it or an ECW guy win it. They had Test win it. This is so stupid. They took WWF versus WCW and ECW and made it a fucking McMahon storyline. How stupid is that? That's just dumb. I'm trying not to raise my voice too much. I'm trying not to cuss about this too much because I've talked about this shit for years now. And my opinion only goes sharper in the this is a big steaming pile of shit, and the people that try to justify it and excuse it are fucking stupid asshole morons. Just think about that for a second. An immunity battle royal, so that way whoever won it couldn't be fired for a year. Just had to be a WWF guy that won it. The Dudley Boys are the WCW Tag Team Champions when they were former ECW guys and had been with the WWF for 2 years. Edge was the WCW United States Champion. So here you go. You've got a WWF guy versus another WWF guy to merge the US and IC titles. Does that seem pretty stupid? You've got an ECW team that's been in the WWF for 2 years and a WWF team in the Hardy Boys fighting to merge the WCW and WWF tag titles. Doesn't that seem pretty stupid to you? I mean, does that not seem pretty stupid to you? This is just so ridiculous and so bad and so dumb on so many different levels. As you can tell, 13 years later, I still carry a tremendous grudge against the WWF for this steaming pile of shit. And yes, I'm repeating myself, and I don't give a fuck if I'm repeating myself, because the number of idiots and morons, including the people that have watched this channel for years, that try to justify what happened during the invasion angle and defend what happened during the invasion angle, and actually try to argue that it was good, and a lot of the shows involved were good, just frustrate the fuck out of me. How could you think Survivor Series 2001 was good? Oh, I know why. Because the match quality of the main event was really damn good. Shut the fuck up. The main event of this show tells you just how stupid this whole thing is, and just how ridiculous this whole thing is, and just how much of a McMahon storyline it was, and just how much it was a McMahon family ego thing and nothing else. It was fuck the fans. It was fuck everything that WCW and even ECW accomplished and did during their time. We're going to stamp our WWF superiority all over the business and shit all over the business, the boys, and the fucking fans. Just even when you look at the lineups. Now, originally it was supposed to be Vince that was going to be a part of this match. It was going to be Team WWF versus the Alliance, and the winner got control of the company, and the loser was fucked and at the mercy of the winner, basically. The first thing that was always stupid about this is the fact that Vince bought out ECW and WCW, but was trying to package himself in the WWF as the good guys here. They were the villains. They were the bad guys. They were the guys that won. There were no redeeming qualities to them at this point in time, frankly. So the WWF, in their own arrogance and believing in their own bullshit ways, from the very jump street, had it all backwards and all fucked up and had it all screwed up. The fans hated Vince. People in the business hated Vince because the WWF was reigning supreme. So why the fuck would you think that the fans would want to cheer Vince in the WWF? It's just astounding how stupid this was. And then you're trying to make this a whole WWF primarily versus WCW with we got to find something to do for some of these ECW guys type of thing. And you're going to have Team WWF feature The Rock, Chris Jericho, The Undertaker, Kane, and Big Show. And then you're going to have the Alliance, the WCW ECW team. And you're not going to have Hogan, Hall, Nash, Flair, Luger, Savage, Sting, Goldberg. Basically, anybody that was DDP, anybody that was any fucking body in WCW during the late 90s, early 2000s, you didn't involve any of them. I don't give a shit about the excuse with the Time Warner contracts. I don't give a shit about the excuses with this or with that. This was your opportunity to have a license to print money. This was your one golden opportunity to take millions of people that didn't watch your product, that watched WCW and or ECW, and make them your fans. So you buy out those fucking contracts, whoever you can, whatever you want to. And you actually have WCW be legit and be fucking badass. You have it be the WCW that people remembered. You actually have the people that were at the top of WCW be the guys to fight for fucking WCW. Instead, fighting for WCW and ECW, you've got Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kurt Angle, Booker T, Rob Van Dam, and Shane McMahon. How fucking ridiculous is that? One ECW guy, one WCW guy, and 3 WWF people, one of them being a fucking McMahon. Do I even really need to say anymore? I don't know what the fuck at the time the WWF was so afraid of. At the time, I don't know what Vince McMahon was so afraid of. Were you afraid that people were going to hate you? Well, they already did. Were you afraid that people were going to actually think that WCW was better? Well, who gives a fuck? Just give them to watch your goddamn product, you dipshits. And then here it is. You're battling out. It's freaking WWF basically versus WCW. Let's just call it how we see it. And it's The Rock versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. If you think that's good, then God bless you in your level of stupidity. If you think this is anything other than a drizzling pile of shit, this show and everything pertaining pretty much to the invasion angle, then again, God bless you and your stupidity. Because I just can't see how anybody could defend this shit. I just can't see how anybody could justify this shit. This show was stupid. This whole storyline was stupid. And even the WWF them fucking selves tell you how stupid this is because they couldn't wait to get out from under the fucking abortion that they had made happen. They didn't even make it to the end of the freaking calendar year of 2001 with it. So The Rock wins, Kurt Angle turns on the Alliance, and it's just a steaming pile of shit. So the whole invasion angle of 2001 was basically to be a showcase piece for The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin. Mind you, the Austin that had turned heel at WrestleMania 17 because, everybody wanted to boo their hero for dumb dick reasons. You just basically said, hey, and no competition now, we can do whatever the fuck you want. Well, in 2001, the WWF basically did whatever the fuck they wanted to do. This is what they gave you. And frankly, the company and the business has never recovered from it. So to Vince McMahon, the people involved with WWF at the time, the fans that justify this shit, I extend a big old fuck you. Because you deserve it. Because this was shit. I hate this fucking Survivor Series and I hate this stupid fucking invasion angle.